We had family coming to town for Brianna's birth, and we were expecting they were going to be here for her funeral.
We didn't even buy a bassinet. We didn't buy anything to bring her home in. We were actually looking at coffins, and if they made them small enough.
Hi, I'm Philip Scott. My wife Elizabeth and I, we have 5 daughters.
We were pregnant with our 4th daughter. We went in for the 20-week ultrasound where they do the measurements and they find out the gender. We were going to do a gender reveal. Immediately after that appointment, my husband and I left for our 10-year anniversary trip to Tennessee. We got a call on our trip. We got the diagnosis prenatally that Briana was going to have a chromosomal abnormality. You have a child with a condition that's considered incompatible with life.
We were dealing with a child with trisomy 18, and I had never really heard of Edwards syndrome or trisomy 18. We Googled it, and we were devastated because a lot of the information out there is very negative. They say that it's life-ending, it's not compatible with life. We were told that she was going to live in a vegetative state, and we felt defeated instantly.
They said, if you are interested in terminating, we need to do it quick because she's about 24 weeks at that time. There was no question for Phil and I whether or not termination was on the table, because it wasn't. Our specialist told us that from what she knew of children with Edwards syndrome, trisomy 18, a lot of times they'll pass away in utero in the last couple of weeks. You know, if you want to see her alive, if you want a chance to hold her and spend a little bit of time with her, if you want her to be able to meet your children and your family, we should probably go ahead and deliver early. Those were some of the factors that went into determining delivery at 34 weeks. All of our kids were there. We'd already had a discussion with them that Brianna may only be there for a little bit. And all of this in my head, this was going to be our moment, our one moment with her.
When Brianna was born, they held her up and she let out a cry.
Just that first cry was something I wasn't even sure that we ever would hear. I remember thinking, all right, well, at least I know I've heard her cry.
And then very quickly, she was struggling to breathe on her own. And they had to intubate her right away.
If it wasn't addressed quickly, it would affect her ability to breathe. There was a sense of urgency in that, but also a sense of excitement. Like, let's get her where they can help her. She's had heart surgery. She's had to have her esophagus connected to her stomach. She has a G-tube for feeding, a tracheostomy for breathing with lung complications. Her older sisters, it was overwhelming for them to see her in a hospital setting. And then we came home.
The girls would draw pictures of Brianna in the hospital and then the rest of the family away from her. And there was one day where Elena drew the family together and she recognized that Brianna was part of the family. And so it's been a journey for them where Brianna was this sister that they were going to never really get to know. And they wanted to keep their distance from her. But then as Brianna continued to live and continue to overcome, I'll never forget that first time that she drew us all together in the house under the same roof.
And now she's almost 5 years old, and she wasn't expected to be here longer than a few days, maybe. She just blossomed. She's going to therapy, enjoying life with her sisters.
Priscilla, how old's Brianna? Say, how much is this? Say, 4. 5 years old. And say, in September, she's gonna be 5. So she's gonna be this many 5 there. My favorite thing about Brianna is that she loves it when we talk to her and play with her, and that she can interact with us a little.
Frequently, the term not compatible with life is used in conjunction with Edwards syndrome trisomy 18. And in the 70s, the same term, not compatible with life, was used for Down syndrome. People have realized that people with Down syndrome can live productive lives. A lot of studies started coming out saying with the right intervention, children with Edwards syndrome can live longer, fulfilling lives. It's okay to be scared, but there are resources out there.
The world is surrounded with why it won't work, and you need to know why it can. We found a community of Edwards syndrome children that I had no idea existed. 2 different support groups that we're in have between 3,000 and 4,000 members.
Medical science and doctors and specialists all they can do is look at cases and think they know what to expect. But when it comes to the love of a family and the love of God, that surpasses all medical wisdom. And that's what she has had in this house and with her nurses. She's had a love from her family and her nurses, and that love from God has been expressed through us all. For her, she's got the best quality of life that she could ever hope for because she is loved.
We love Brianna so much.
I love Brianna as much as I love any of my other sisters or family members because she's part of our family and she'll always be part of our family.
Brianna means strength or strong one. And so here we are. She's proven over and over that she's strong enough if we just give her the chance to prove it.